Traditionally, the Raw after WrestleMania is always particularly good, isn't it? So I have no doubt in my mind that tonight's episode will be rather wonderful, won't it? Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to these. These will be some more Raw thoughts, the Raw after WrestleMania. But before that, we're going to talk some more about WrestleMania 30. My WrestleMania 30 thoughts has now had over 900 views and something ludicrous like 60 odd comments, the majority of which are telling me what you thought of WrestleMania, but also answering my question of would you like a full review of WrestleMania, and most, the majority of them saying yes we would. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit of a compromise here. I'm not going to do a full review, I'm just going to expand on some of my thoughts that I had on the night, if that's alright, because we've been here for days, wouldn't we, having to do 2 full reviews in one. So some WrestleMania thoughts, some Raw thoughts, combine them all together, and you've got the look how bloody long this fucking vid is. Hey, how does that sound? So, first things first, let's just say 2,400 views over the weekend on this channel, over my WrestleMania 10, WrestleMania 30 predictions, and WrestleMania 30 thoughts videos. Thank you so much. Very much appreciated. Let's talk about the Hall of Fame first. So that's something that I didn't talk about on my WrestleMania thoughts vid. Hall of Fame I thought was good, if a little bit long. You knew that when Lita talked for over half an hour, or the best part of half an hour, this one's going to be a long one, isn't it? I didn't have any problems with Lita's speech. I've heard comments and read. I've heard people say and read some comments that they didn't appreciate Lita talking for that long. I thought what she was saying was interesting. I thought she looked absolutely stunning. The dress she was wearing was nice. And yeah, I'd hit that shit into next year, and I think you would as well, to be honest, wouldn't you? Jake cut me to bits when he said that he can't play anymore. That was, oh man. I mean, we were expecting it to be sad in places, and expected it to be an emotional thing. When he said that, I mean, yeah, that was, that cut me up for quite a lot. Mr. T, what can you say about good old Mr. T? Because, he came in and he's going to talk all about WrestleMania 1 in the main event, WrestleMania 2 in the boxing match. He was going to tell loads of stories about how he got involved and how he grew up as a wrestling fan and how he got involved in those things, and maybe even throw in a few A-team stories. Nah, fucking that'd be stupid, wouldn't it? He talked about his mother for ages and ages and ages and ages. Oh, god damn. I'm pretty certain that if Kane hadn't pulled him off the stage, he'd still be talking about his mama right now. At what? 11:45 on Tuesday. He'd still be talking about his mother. He mentioned the word mother 71 times during this speech. I'm watching it with Lisa sat next to me, and after probably about the 20th time, she's like, will you shut the fuck up? And I'm thinking exactly the same thing. I found this disrespectful. I get it that you love your mother, Mr. T. I, as a child of the 80s, remember mother. There is no other. Mother. So treat her right, and all that shite, But Jesus Christ, if you're there as part of a wrestling thing, talk about why you're involved in WrestleMania, surely. Maybe just a little bit. Oh, stupid. I thought Kane did a great job of his induction of Paul Bearer. Very classy thing to do. I thought one of Paul's real life kids looked like he really didn't want to be there, which is an interesting one. Carlos Colon was short and to the point, but still good. I'm glad he got a decent reaction because there was going to be people there who I'm sure didn't have a clue who this man was. Hall looked amazing. His speech was short, to the point. Not Hall, sorry, Razor Ramon, because I guess I'm going to do Hall as part of the NWO at a later date. His speech was fantastic. The curtain call thing with the click at the end was fantastic. Let me tell you one thing, right? If you've got any doubts about doing DDP yoga, surely you just need to look at these two and go, right, yes, I'm going to do that shit. Do you know, I haven't done my yoga this week, right? And I feel terrible because of it. My back's hurting a bit because of it. It's because of my calves. Standing here is hurting. You probably notice I'm not moving around like I normally do, on this one. I'm just trying to stay as still as I can because my calves are still absolutely wrecking so much. Lastly, Warrior he's still really mad about that DVD, isn't he? You can tell that much. But I mean, he wasn't really as mental. Loads of people are like, oh yeah, his speech is gonna be nuts and his queering don't make the world work and all that shit. But I thought, I mean, like I say, it's still a bit of a nutcase there, but it wasn't as nutty as I was expecting. Should we say that? Is that fair? So yeah, that was the Hall of Fame, and I thought the stream worked perfectly, which was wonderful. And that was all. 5 minutes in. Very brief, I'll give you that one. Thank you. WrestleMania, the Fatal 4-Way on the pre-show was far, far better than I was expecting as the Usos retained their belts. If anything, because this one was given time, and it at no point did it feel rushed. You would expect, with elimination, even with the elimination rules, that this one could have. I don't know. I kind of expected this one to go for all of 5 minutes. Crossbody turned into the backbreaker by Cesaro was an amazing spot. Swagger turned on Cesaro after the Usos had won the match with it, which was a nice touch. And the Cesaro mega push hopefully begins now. We'll see on Raw whether that is the case. No America the Beautiful at the 30th anniversary of WrestleMania. That will never ever get a thumbs down from me. That's something that I really, I can't be doing with it. It's an international pay-per-view. Maybe they've finally realised that is the case. The Hogan-Austin Rock segment, I talked about at length on my first thoughts video. I thought it was all fantastic. To be honest, what I'm going to add here is that, isn't it strange that Hulk Hogan was the host of WrestleMania, but was only in 2 segments on the show? I personally was expecting him to be in a hell of a lot more stuff. But yeah, easy payday for Hogan, I suppose. Opening contest is Daniel Bryan defeating Triple H. This match is just as good on a second viewing as it is on the first. In fact, in my opinion, this match is better on the second viewing because on the first viewing, I hadn't realised just how bloody good Stephanie is as a cheerleader, as it were, on the outside. Obviously, you know that I adored the storytelling in this match. I really, genuinely do believe that this is the best WrestleMania opener that there's ever been. Alright, bear in mind that I watched Owen versus Brett just last week. This match is superior to that match, in my opinion. The storytelling is quite wonderful. And in my opinion, this is one of the best WrestleMania matches ever. Not just best opener, just one of the best matches ever. And the Tiger Suplex, of course, is one in my top 3 favourite wrestling moves. It's number 2 behind a reverse Rana, but in front of a Dragon Suplex. And you never ever see them in the WWE. So it's one of those moves that I hope. I was going to say I hope that Triple H adds to his arsenal, but yeah, we shouldn't expect too many more Triple H matches. I just wish he'd started doing that earlier in his career, to be honest. We all expected a screwy finish going into this one, I think, so that it became a 4-way in the main event. So it was nice and it was pleasantly surprising, in my opinion, to have a clean finish. And then we get to make sure that there's no way in hell that Bryan is going to win the main event because Triple H batters thingy. Actually, no. Before we go on with that, Bryan in the ring has got Stephanie slapping him, and Bryan, big smile on his face because he realizes at that point, I've beaten you. I have won. I've beaten the Authority. Fantastic. Like I say, Triple H attacks Bryan's already mangled arm with a steel chair just to make it that little bit more mangled. Great stuff. I gave it the whole hog. And on the second viewing, nothing changed on that. It's a straight 5 stars. A Shield versus the Shield defeating Kane and the New Age Outlaws. It was perfectly booked, in my opinion. Absolutely fantastic. Started from the Shield cutting off the Outlaws mid-smeal to the fact that it only went 3 odd minutes or so. If you're disappointed by how long this one lasted, you've got to look at yourself in the mirror, surely, and go, look, I'm disappointed with the fact that the New Age Outlaws were in a short match. And then you just say to yourself in the mirror, I wanted the New Age Outlaws match to go longer. And then just think, oh yeah, there's that. No, you didn't. You wanted to see the 3 remnants of the Attitude Era getting absolutely owned, didn't you? Because that's what I wanted, and that's what we got. The Attitude Era really was, I think, it's one of those things I saw on a blog earlier on. The Attitude Era really was its last legs here, because you got Austin and Rock based, as just cameos, and the people who are actually wrestling from the Attitude Era. So Hunter got beaten, Kane got beaten, New Age Outlaws got beaten. Boom, 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 boom. You are cameos now. You're bit players. The Attitude Era is dead and buried. Shield are going to be great baby faces. Before the Battle Royale, we got a little bit of a mark-out moment as we saw Slaughter and Duggan playing with these Slam City figures. All good and well in the back, all good and well. But the mark-out moment for me is Danny Davis is doing the refereeing. That was fantastic. And it's one of those things that makes you wonder just how many heads that went over watching it live, The Jobber Battle Royale was good. After we lost half the jobbers, the 30 men in there, we needed to lose 20 of them before the match actually got interesting. So the eliminations were quick. I love how Miz got eliminated by Santino. I love that fact that at WrestleMania 27, he was in the main event and he defeated John Cena. And on this WrestleMania, he got eliminated by a sock. That's fantastic. Oh, dear me. The Cesaro slam then launched him over the top was reminiscent of Andre and Hogan at WrestleMania 3. That was a great touch, and I'm sure Cesaro will be mega over on Raw because the traditional post-WrestleMania crowd, anyone who's a heel is now a babyface and vice versa, so he will be mega over. Bray Wyatt versus John Cena was a really, really good match in my opinion. And it told such a good story. I feel that so many people have caught up in who won in this one that they're not noticing or didn't notice or are ignoring what a good story this one told. Bray's facial expressions, mannerisms are so perfect. They make it so easy to get behind and to believe in the character, in my opinion. Bray did everything he could to get into Cena's head, and for most of the match it worked. It was all good. You could see he was getting angry. We were seeing a different side of the John Cena character that I absolutely loved. But at the same time, when he picked up the steel sets, and he just couldn't do it. He couldn't bring himself to be the monster, to do what Bray wanted him to do. And then the great bit later on in the match when he picks up the steel chair that Bray had slid to him, and instantly Bray on his knees, do it, finish me off. The bug eyes, and this is golden, absolutely superb. And the referee is saying, don't do this, John. This isn't you. That was brilliant. Honest to God, superb. The other thing I love about this match is the crowd swaying and singing. He's got the whole world in his hands. That was absolutely fantastic. And what I loved about that, and the reason I loved it, is because the commentators didn't try to ignore it. They played into it. They said, look, this guy's having an influence while he's wrestling the match. That's fucking superb. Obviously, I would have liked Bray Wyatt win, and I've said why. I think he could have done wonders for his career, but at the same time, we're going to see some gimmick matches coming up, I'm sure, between the two of them, which Bray can then go on and win because they are gimmick matches. Happy days. No problem with that. Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar is one of those matches that in the cold light of day with the alcohol removed is not a very good match. I challenge anyone to go back and watch that match and tell me that it's really, really good. I've heard people say that Brock wasn't meant to win. That one doesn't fly with me in the slightest at all. Did anyone find it very weird how quiet the crowd were going into this one? It's watching it back the second time. I didn't notice this on the first viewing. The second time round, the crowd are utterly silent for so much of this match. It's only after the first F5 they come to life. Obviously, I love the dead man working the arm and Brock working the leg, but this match comes across as very, very dull. And man, does Taker look old. I don't know why I hadn't noticed that on the build-up to this one. Taker looks, I don't know who he is because he's a 49-year-old man. He looks like an old man, I do like the old school counter into the F5, but Taker, I've got to be honest, he looked very poor here. There was a couple of things that made you feel sorry for him. For example, when Brock hits the German suplexes, Taker can't jump properly. When he hits the tombstone, there's a clear foot between the mat and his head, and Brock Lesnar's head. Now, I understand that's doing it as safe can be, but I don't know. This is a man who's been surgically repaired and bolted back together so many times that I don't know. This is something I never thought about was before this WrestleMania was that, we were all so caught up in the fact that Brock had just been dominated by Taker that it was one of those times where surely before this show we should have been saying that this is one that the streak should be ended on. Because how long is it going to be? We should have been saying how long is it going to be that the streak, so the Undertaker still looks credible. I mean, against Brock Lesnar, Undertaker shouldn't be winning, should he? Yes, he's got magical powers, but I don't know, it's a tricky one. A third F5 gets the win for Brock. What's crazy here is there's a good 30 seconds between the pinfall and the announcer, Justin Roberts, saying the winner of the match is Brock Lesnar. It's crazy, like when it goes down, but Michael Cole is like, the streak! It's over. And it's like, that's how we all felt, you know? It was one of those things that I think that 2 days later I can say that the match is superfluous to requirements. It's the last 3 seconds that we'll remember forever, I think. You know, it was one of those crazy things, but as a match, it wasn't very good. It was not very good. The Divas match was always going to get shown, wasn't it? I mean, it's one of those, why would I give a shit? You almost feel sorry for the girls. Almost none of them got entrances apart from AJ. No one cared, because of all the death spots that has ever been in wrestling, yeah, this was the death spot, wasn't it? No one cared in the slightest. Another thing they didn't mention this at all in my first thoughts here, is they did a thing with the guys from the main event of WrestleMania 1. So you had Hogan talking to Mean Gene. He's interrupted by Rowdy Roddy Piper, Paul Orndorff, and his genuinely wonderful moustache. And they start going out back and forth, and Mr. T appears, and Pat Patterson appears in a referee's shirt, and they all agree to shake hands. And the noise that Piper makes when he goes to shake Mr. T's hand is just glorious. Absolutely amazing. Main event was a good match. I'm watching it back the second time, it feels like it should be a good 10 minutes shorter, because at times this one really dragged. But there was enough false finishes in this one, there was enough drama in it to make you believe at times that Bryan wasn't going to win. That we were going to get the dreaded Bautista win, or even worse maybe, that Randy Orton would retain. Bryan selling the arm was good, as I said on my first thoughts. So I enjoyed that bit. The RKO and Batista bomb spot really is amazing. I love Bryan getting up off the stretcher. I have no issues at all with Hunter coming out, especially as he ate the suicide dive along with Steph. And Bryan was able to stop the sledgehammer shot as well, which I really enjoyed. In some ways, this felt like a Attitude Era main event, with the most incredible odds stacked against the babyface champion. Normally, like something like Austin, wasn't it? Only for the babyface to pull out the most incredible win, overcoming all the odds. Something like Backlash 2000 is exactly to the dot what I'm thinking about. If you remember at Backlash 2000, it's Triple H, versus The Rock. Triple H had Shane as guest referee, and you had Vince on the outside, and it was all like, Rock is never ever going to win this match. That he overcame the odds and he still managed to win. This was one of those times. Overall, it's a decent WrestleMania. It's a 7 out of 10 sort of card for me. The best match being the opener, with only the Divas match being bad. And that of course was expecting it to. But we'll all look back on this one and we'll remember two things: Bryan's win and Taker's loss, and that's it. The rest of this card, that's the thing. For all it's good. In 6 months' time, you're going to be sat again. Do you remember WrestleMania 30? Not really. And what I would say is to anyone who hasn't yet, go and watch it again in the cold light of day and see if you still feel the same way that you did on Sunday night. Holy shit! Ezekiel Jackson's contract's up, and he's expired, and he's fucked off. Did you still think he was employed? Raw. So we're still in New Orleans, and we've got all the Brits on hand because we can't be asked going home yet. So, after a great recap package showing the Bryan story, out comes the man himself to a massive yes chant, then a long-ass Daniel Bryan chant. He tries to talk about yes, but the fans break out in a massive "you deserve it" chant. Bryan says that we, the fans, deserve it because it's the power that we have to make change. And because of us, Daniel Bryan became champion. And here's Hunter and Steph. He says he won't get in the ring as he'll do something he regrets. So naturally, Bryan does the only thing that he can do if he's not going to get in the ring. Grabs his 2 belts, goes and gets within an inch of Hunter's face and says, yes, yes, yes. Because you just would, wouldn't you? Why not? If he's not going to do anything about it, then fuck it. Hunter says enjoy your moment. Your moment can't last, and it won't last, because tonight you're going to be defending your championship, and you're going to be defending your championship against me. The reality is that this is my show, and that there is nothing you can do about it. Good segment, enjoyed that one. And then, after an ad break, in the back, Randy Orton and Batista claim they both deserve rematches against Bryan, but Hunter is having none of it. Stephanie says that you do deserve title shots. You too can have a title shot against the Uso brothers. And they're just like, ugh, yay? Don't care about the tag belts in the slightest. Hunter says, what you've got to remember is when the three of us are on the same page, no one can stop us. Remember that. In our first match of the evening, the Wyatts defeating John Cena, Big E and Sheamus in a fun match where the crowd were heavily into the Wyatts. The crowd goes crazy when Harper counters the AA into the face jammer. King mentioned, right, in one of those things that, excuse me, King, right, in one of those things that I have no idea why he said this, right? King mentions Rowan has been banned from going to the zoo. And then Cole says, why? King laughs and goes, I don't know, that's just what I've heard. And you kind of go, right, was that a joke that you forgot? Was there a punchline in there that I completely missed? You fucking idiot. The fans singing John Cena sucks was so funny. I mean, we were doing it on the IWC, as part of the IWC for years, but to actually have a crowd doing it, amazing. This match went 13 minutes. Wyatt's clearly having the time of their life. Biggie was always going to be the one to do the job here, wasn't he? He's only the Intercontinental Champion, for fuck's sake. And he fell to Sister Abigail. We had a Bo Dallas promo. So he's getting the call up. I don't know if that gimmick is going to work on the main roster. I mean, we all hate him on NXT because he was champion forever. And, that smiling face of shut the fuck up, Bo sort of thing. You just wanted to see him get his ass kicked. But I don't know if it'll work. And then Emma and Santino defeating Fandango and Summer Rae in our second match when Emma made Summer tap out in about a minute and a half. Yeah, out comes Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman. Paul says, and I'm going to be paraphrasing quite a lot here because he did talk for a long time. If anything, you could say that he talked for a bit too long. Paul says that it's a privilege to represent the man who broke the streak. They don't want to say I told you so, but we told you so. We even put it on the shirt. Eat, sleep, break the streak. Brock is here to shock the universe and bring tears to the eyes of little children. And it's time to shoot from the hip. Taker collapsed 5 seconds after getting through the curtain last night. Vince McMahon personally went to hospital with the Taker. He was this close from having a broken neck. Heyman rips the commentators for giving the Undertaker a standing ovation at the end. Rips Hogan for forgetting the name of the arena. No one other than Brock has fought in the Octagon because they're all wannabes. He runs down a list of people like Stone Cold and Hogan and Rock. And no one has won the NCAA championship other than Brock. They're all wannabes. Brock Lesnar is the one. There's only one Brock Lesnar, which is great. Good stuff from Paul, if a little long. After a motherfucking Adam Rose promo, fucking get in. Batista and Orton versus the Usos went to a count out. Yay. Batista hit a bomb on an Uso on the steel hardcore concrete steps on the outside. I just don't get this. I understand, right, that the WWE, the WF even, have always said, right, the main eventers are above the tag team belt unless it's for a storyline purpose. See Cena and Shawn Michaels, for example. But I had no idea why they tried to drill it into us like this. I just do not get it. And Rob Van Dam is back. And he beat Sandow in a quick match like he'd never gone away, really. And then Bad News Barrett defeating Rey Mysterio in a fun little match after the Bullhammer. On a night like tonight, obviously Wade Barrett is going to be mega over because there's lots of Brits in the crowd, and I love it when they start England, England, England chant. And I bet there's loads of Americans going, what are they doing here? Why are they doing that? Why are they singing these silly soccer chants? Like, shut up. Sort of thing. We get another Adam Rose promo. This is my current ex-girlfriend. This is my future ex-girlfriend. Fan-fucking-tastic. I just wish they kept his original music. I've got it on my phone. I've ripped on people for having wrestling themes as their ringtone for years. And at this current moment, I've got Emma's theme and I've got Adam Rose's first theme on my phone. Can you believe that shit? And then Rusev, complete with the ravishing Russian Lana, Squashed, Zack Ryder, unlucky Zack. Out comes the Ultimate Warrior, making his first Raw appearance in 1996. The camera focuses on the commentators while Warrior puts on one of his trademark jackets and he shakes the ropes to big pops. He puts on a Warrior mask, cuts a little promo where he basically says that the fans are the legend makers. Why not? Hey, this was a feel-good moment. I liked it a lot. And this is as far as I got last night. I was absolutely exhausted. I was properly tired. And about 10 past 2 in the morning, as it was over here in England, 10 past 3, sorry, I went to bed. Probably a mistake, wasn't it, going after what happened for the rest of the show? One thing I want to say is I'm probably going to stop watching Raw live, because what I've noticed, I've added this little insert in after I finish the show, is my notes are infinitely better after when I watch the show the next day. As much as it's a pain in the arse to watch it the next day, I can pause the show if I watch it the next day. When I'm watching it live, I've got to write my notes so fast, so you can see that I don't really talk about things very much. I don't give them as much depth as they should. So I think we're going to stop that one. So here's AJ. She's been Divas champion. So look at the size of this paragraph. This is like 3 paragraphs worth of stuff. 3 matches worth of stuff that I've written for one segment. Here comes AJ. She's been the Divas champion for 295 days. She ripped the other Divas a new one on a promo a few months back and asked them to prove her wrong, and they couldn't. She is the hero of the story. She is the best diva in the world, which gets a CM Punk chant, morons. She is the saviour of the Divas division. Hell, she is the Divas division. And holy shit, if we haven't had enough NXT tonight already, and just Bo and Rose were doing great, here's motherfucking Paige. 10 minutes, if that, after I went to bed. I'm snoring away. Here comes Paige. The crowd chanting her name as she's here to congratulate her, AJ, on her Mania victory. AJ doesn't need her congratulations and doesn't like being interrupted. Seeing as she's all dressed up, why doesn't AJ beat her? Paige protests. She says she doesn't think she's ready. So AJ slaps her, asks if she's ready now. She says they're having a match right now, and as a treat for the post-WrestleMania Raw, her title is on the line. She says they're having a match right now. Oh, sorry, I've said that bit. Ready or not, this is my house, says AJ. After a little beatdown, AJ gets the Black Widow, but Paige fights out of it, turns it into the Paige title, Paige Turner, sorry, not Paige title, turns it into the Paige Turner for the motherfucking win. Oh my god, that's incredible. Paige celebrates, and of course Paige not only celebrates, she celebrates it like she means it. And that celebration really makes it special. And they had a little thing on the post show where she was crying her eyes out backstage, and that was absolutely fantastic. And it's one of those times where it's like, yep, well done, girl. Well done, girl. That's fucking brilliant. Incidentally, here's a little thing. You know, I talk about BritWres a lot, right? If you want to see some future WWE stars, get your ass to a BritWres show. Think about it. Wade Barrett's on this show. Started off on the British Indies. The man wrestled for Future Shot, for goodness sake. You know, back in the day. Oh, yes, he did. And, of course, Paige wrestled down south in England. And you got Drew McIntyre, also wrestled for Future Shot, by the way. And Sheamus. And, you know, these guys all wrestled on the British independent circuit. Go and look on the British Indies now. There's people who are coming in that in 10 years' time, 5 years' time, will be WWE superstars. And you'll be able to say, I saw that guy. How good's that? Believe in yourself! Another Bo Dallas promo. Why not? Here's Hulk Hogan to present the Andre Trophy to Cesaro. The crowd are a lot more appreciative of Hogan than I expected them to be. I love it when he gets the Superdome name right. That's fantastic. His favourite moment of WrestleMania was the Andre Battle Royale, which is strange. I don't even fuck about Daniel Bryan. This Battle Royale is my favourite bit. Fuck off. Jesus Christ. Wrestling 101 agrees that the trophy is going to get smashed. Zev takes the mic and tells the world he made Cesaro a real American and he made him into a Zeb Coulter guy. Cesaro gets the mic and said that he's not a Zeb Coulter guy. He's a Paul Heyman guy. Oh, ho, ho! Fantastic. So here's Heyman, who's now an advocate for the King of Swing, superb Cesaro. Fans absolutely love this. Heyman goes to tell the commentators how to address Cesaro in future, and here's Swagger to attack Cesaro, and oh yeah, there goes the trophy. What a surprise. That makes Cesaro mad, and we have ourselves a match. The commentators are too busy talking about The Undertaker losing the streak, but that superplex over the ropes is amazing, and when he goes for the big swing, Swagger bails for the countout. Excuse me. And I guess we're going to see a match at Extreme Rules, and I have no complaints at all. although this was a touch confusing because of the crowd. Is Cesaro the heel now, or is Swagger the heel? Because of this random crowd, I just don't know. But hey, it's alright. They announced it's Big Show versus Cesaro on SmackDown this week, so I'm guessing that Cesaro is the heel. Also on main event, it's Wyatt's versus Shield 3. God, I'd watch that. I'd watch main event. I'd happy to watch that. And yeah, they mentioned that the streak ending was big news. I went to the pub last night with a mate, and they had MTV on one of the TVs there. I wasn't paying any attention to it until I noticed there was WWE and thought, what's that say? It says WWE fans outraged as Undertaker loses at WrestleMania. I'm like, bloody hell. Even though that's just a little bit, I was like, wow. Because a lot of people, remember what I said about WrestleMania thoughts, there's a lot of people out there who used to watch wrestling, who sort of still pay that little tiny bit of attention to it. So a lot of people will see that and go, bloody hell, Undertaker lost. It's big news. Undertaker was not on this show at all, by the way, because why would he be? In the back, the Kane, why not? The Kane mock Kane. the Shield mock Kane for not having the Outlaws with him. Kane says that they are nameless pawns and starts ranting about Hunter being the one who ordered their battering on SmackDown a few weeks ago. See, we knew it was Hunter. Steph shuts him up and then tells them that Hunter wants, Hunter gets. Are we all clear on that one? And the Shield say crystal clear. So Bryan out for the main event, but Orton and Batista come out before Hunter and batter Bryan, hitting with an RKO and a Batista bomb to utter silence. And here comes Kane out to chokeslam Bryan as well, and now Hunter comes out. Mike Chioda does the right thing. He won't start the match. He can't start the match. Look what you've done to him. Hunter is in his classic heeldom. Says, "Look, do you like working here?" Gary's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, ring the bell." I like that a lot. But here comes the Shield. They get on the apron, so as do Orton, Batista, and Kane, and Hunter's in the middle trying to keep them separate. And you just have to go, what's going to happen here? What's going to happen here? What's going to happen? Oh, shit! Roman Reigns spears Hunter. And that's amazing. Ambrose and Rollins suicide dive Orton and Batista on the outside while Reigns breaks Kane's grip for the chokeslam, hits him with the Superman punch, and then you get such an amazing visual as they go to the wide shot, and you see Hunter on his fucking knees with the fucking three members of the Shield around me, and you're like, you are so fucked. You are so fucked. And then out of nowhere, here's Daniel Bryan to hit the knee that beat Cena on Hunter, which is fucking amazing and gets their fucking huge reaction. And the last thing we see of the show is the four men in the ring, four men on the ramp, big stare down, and the first thing you think of, the first thing, surely, say it with me, 2 words, one begins with W, one begins with G. Ladies and gentlemen, if this isn't the biggest setup for a fucking War Games match, I don't know what is, alright? This needs to be a War Games match at Extreme Rules, does it not? Is this one of the best Raws ever? Oh, fuck yeah, absolutely bloody-tastic. Like the best kinds of MDMA, I'm expecting the come down from this one to be damn big. But we'll go into next week's Raw with ridiculously high expectations. Ladies and gentlemen, I have waffled on for the best part of half an hour. Thank you so much for sticking around for this long. My next vid will probably be on Saturday. I'm going to do a WWE Backlash 2004 vid as part of my 10 years ago. What did you think of Raw? And have you got anything more to add about WrestleMania? Have you watched WrestleMania 30 a second time, for example? Let me know down below. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. 10 subscribers away from 1,500. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. It would mean a lot. You can follow me on Twitter. If you really want to add me on Facebook, I don't really say much of interest on Facebook. If you can do, add me on Facebook if you so choose. I've been Mark P. Thank you so much once again for watching. I'm going to go back to bed because I'm absolutely exhausted. Take it easy, guys.